Hey y'all, what it is, bitch. Oh my fucking god. I am so irritated. Okay, I'm so mad. Okay, I need to tell the story though when it's fresh in my brain because if I just not tell it for days because I thought about just taking a little mini break because I'm so fucking mad. But no, honey, I need to tell the story right fresh in my fucking memory because this shit just happened yesterday. So, the same Polish dude that I went out on a date with a few days ago uh, I think he's psychotic. I think he has multiple personalities. I have bipolar and I wouldn't do this crazy shit. Let me explain. So, he picked me up for a date. Like, literally, when he picked me up, he came out of the car with a boner and a smile. Like, hey, Olivia, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my God. And he kissed me, big kiss, big hug. And he had a huge boner poking me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, I got in the car. I kind of laughed about his boner. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's just excited to see you too. Ha ha ha. And we go to an Italian restaurant and we're having a great time. Okay. He's saying I look beautiful. I'm very beautiful. And he's happy to be with me. And this is a great restaurant. He loves the food. I'm great at picking out restaurants. And he even told me, pull out your phone. I said, okay, I'm gonna pull out. And yeah, I pulled out my phone and he said, go to the Hinge app. And he's like, well, remove that shit from your phone because we're together now. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. You've been exclusive to me. And we had already talked about this on the phone kind of last night, the night before last, night before the date. We had already talked about being exclusive because he claimed that I was the only girl that he was talking to. And in his eyes, we're exclusive. So I'm like, okay, cool. I deleted the app and I'm like, you do the same and the other apps that you may have. And girl, guess what he had? Hinge and Bumble under in his phone. The folder he had it under. It was games, okay? And that's very important for the end of the story. So anyway, y'all, after we both do that, he deleted Bumble. I saw that he deleted Hinge. Girl, he probably re-added it right when he went to the bathroom because he went to the bathroom shortly after. Bitch, I don't fucking believe him, fucking liar. But anyway, we had a good lunch and we went to an arcade. Like, well, in between the lunch and the arcade, we were making out in the car lot. He was saying, "Oh, well, I just can't wait till I get back from my business trip." Because y'all, mind you, he's going to drive to a business trip Monday, and he claimed he couldn't wait to see me next weekend, and we were planning on what we might do. Then I mentioned, oh, have you ever had hotel sex? And then he said, no, I've never had hotel sex. Wow, you're more adventurous than me. And I'm like, is that a dig? Is that some shade, bitch? Anyway, we kiss some more and then we head to the arcade, bitch. And we're having a good time at first. We're doing little shooting games and just do all that. The shooting games, we're doing the racing games. And I was horrible at the racing games because I'm just, I drive like I'm just drunk on those racing games. And I mean, maybe it's part of my driving trauma. I don't know what it is, but he did make a comment like, girl, I wouldn't trust you behind the wheel at all. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And then when we went to the basketball part of things, y'all, like, I fell. Like, I twisted my ankle and fucking fell in the middle of the fucking arcade. And he did not flinch. He looked at me, well, he kind of flinched, and he looked at me like he looked at me like I was a crackhead. Okay? He looked at me like I was a random stranger that just fell out, and he's like, what the fuck? Okay? He did not help me up. A fucking worker, another white guy, helped me up. Not him. I was fucking pissed about that. And he had the audacity to be like, wow, maybe it's some shoes. Fuck out of here. You couldn't ask me my okay? How's my knee? Because I fell on my knee. You couldn't ask me how the fuck is my back and my knee, okay? And by the way, I only fell because I have weak ligaments in my legs because I have fibromyalgia. So that's fucks up my back and it makes my legs weak. And sometimes I just randomly fall. And that happens sometimes with me. I've told him I have chronic pain issues and chronic back pain issues. So I don't know if he just thought that I don't know what he was thinking, but it really pissed me off that he did not help me up because, he was supposedly my date and my boyfriend. Anyway, you know, we do some more games because, bitch, I was like, okay, let me just calm down, simmer down. Let me not make a scene and get all angry and rowdy, bitch. Best believe if I was still drunk and I was still drinking, I would have cussed that motherfucker out right in the restaurant because I was an angry drunk. But sober me is more logical, okay? And sober me is more like, ring it in, Olivia, ring it in. So anyway, we did a couple more games. I did I did horribly at those games, probably because I was pissed off that he did not help me up after I fucking fell out at the fucking basketball part. So anyway, he was like saying stupid shit while we were playing the games though, like, oh, you're bombing so bad. You're doing so bad. What the fuck is going on, Olivia? What's going on in that brain of yours? Excuse me, sir? Excuse me? What the fuck's going on with your tattoos? Mind y'all, while we were in the car, he showed me that he had a huge Tupac tattoo. And a huge Jay-Z Illuminati eye, the one eye tattoo. You know how Jay-Z does that triangle thing, covering his eye? You know, he had that tattoo of Jay-Z on his arm, all tatted up. What the fuck is wrong with your arm, motherfucker? Or nigga? I might as well call you a nigga. Those are the things I should have fucking said. But girl, like, luckily our tickets, you know how you get those tickets and the points. Luckily those ran out soon, and we went back to the car, and he started kissing me again, y'all. Like, after not helping me up, after not being nice about me failing at a lot of the games because, I was probably just pissed. And after him critiquing my game skills and not helping me up and looking at me like a crackhead like this, as I fell to the fucking ground, we go back to the car and he's trying to kiss me. We do kiss a little bit because I'm stupid at the moment. Because temporarily, y'all, I was blinded by his looks. And he shows me his boner again. And he's like, oh, he's happy again. I'm like, good for him. Ha ha ha. And I laughed. And he's like, well, where to next? I'm like, well, there's a lake in my neighborhood. You want to go to the lake in my neighborhood? There is a lake in my neighborhood where I usually go to calm down. And when I walk by my, like it's a serene area where I just sit there and calm the fuck down. And I wanted to go there only because maybe if I just sit there and calm down, maybe he will calm down and really tell me the truth as to why he did not help me up while I fucking fell. And yeah, here's what happened, y'all. We go to the lake in my neighborhood, girl, and he starts this bullshit speech. He starts telling me that he has panic attacks driving and had the nerve to fucking say, hey, well, while we were at the arcade, when I started acting weird, I was shaking thinking about going back home and how far of a drive it is. Mind you, he already knew how far of a drive it was the first time he came to see me the other night, okay? It's an hour away with traffic, and he already knew that shit, okay? And he's like, I was shaking, okay? I was literally shaking in the arcade thinking about it. My heart was pounding. I was freaking out thinking about driving back home. I realized I have panic attacks driving like you do. Mind you guys, anybody who doesn't know, I have panic attacks with driving, and I have PTSD with driving because I had a horrible fucking accident back when I was 21. I got hit by a drunk driver and rear-ended really badly into almost incoming traffic. Anyway, anybody who doesn't know, now you know. I've had panic attacks with driving and severe PTSD with driving since I was 21. And I was upfront about that with him, that I cannot drive in Atlanta traffic to come see him. Okay, and that's why we would never meet in the middle, and that's why we can't do that. He would have to come to me. And he knew this from the jump, okay? And he knew that. I told him how I experienced panic attacks. I told him I have racing heartbeat, I have shakiness, I have sweating, my chest feels tight, my fucking throat sometimes feels tight. I told him all this before. So here's what he's telling to me, that he has panic attacks driving now. How do you have panic attacks driving all of a sudden, huh? But you were able to drive here and not mention it at all. When you got here, you were happy with a boner, okay? And you didn't mention nothing about you having a panic attack on the way here. How? Houseway. And on our last date, you didn't mention nothing about having a panic attack. You mentioned, he did mention having road rage, though, and being angry at traffic and yelling at people which is also a red flag. I think that's a red flag. He did mention that, but you did not mention a fucking panic attack. And you know what's hilarious about all this? The night before we went out on a date, like we were on the phone, I said, oh, so he was telling me how much he hates driving in Atlanta traffic and how it makes him angry. I'm like, so does it make you angry or does it make you have panic attacks and anxious? He's like, no, it just makes me angry and I cuss at people and I call them the C word. And it just makes me angry. It doesn't make me panic at all. I don't have panic attacks. So the night before you don't have panic attacks, but magically today you're having panic attacks, and this is why you didn't help me up. It's because you were shaking yourself and freaking out internally. You didn't mention it at all while we were at the fucking arcade. Long story short is, y'all, he starts telling me how I would just feel like such a shitty guy if after I came back from my business trip we had sex and I left you because I couldn't keep driving you around. I couldn't keep coming out here. And I couldn't keep coming out here. Like, I would feel really shitty if I just left you. And I would feel worse than dirt. You know, I'd feel like all the other guys who fucked you over, Olivia. It's best that we just don't be together at all. I'm sorry I asked you to be my girlfriend, but I can't do this because I have panic attacks driving. What? Nigga, please, is what I was thinking in my head. Nigga, please. This was such a nigga excuse, y'all. This is worse than a snow dusty. This is a snow roach. A Thai roach, okay? This dude had the audacity to basically use my trauma with driving as a reason to not want to see me again and to break up with me, so to speak. So we were only a couple for a good three hours, I guess. Ha ha. He's like, you know, it would be perfect if you lived 5 minutes away. We have great chemistry. I love the way you look and everything. And it's like, look, dude, you knew I didn't live 5 minutes away already, nigga. Ugh. Then he had the nerve to fucking say the next time he gets on Hinge, which is probably today, is that he's only going to look for women that are within the 5 or 10 minute radius from him because that's all he can drive now. Mind you, I already told him personally that that's all I can drive. I can only drive 5 or 10 minutes away from my house without having a horrible panic attack. So I think he just mimicked everything I said about my panic attacks and my driving trauma to basically act like he has it too, which I don't fucking believe. Because guess what, y'all? His business trip is in fucking Kentucky. So you mean to tell me you can drive to fucking Kentucky from Georgia? Because he's not flying. He told me he was driving. You can do that, but you can't drive from one part of Atlanta to another part of Atlanta. That's basically a little bit under an hour, sometimes an hour with traffic. Fuck you. Okay? Piece of shit, okay? Piece of fucking garbage, piece of fucking scum to use my fucking trauma against me. Like, and you want me to eat it up. I basically just told him, look, take me home. Take me home. I was crying, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was yelling and I was crying like, fucking take me home. And he's like, okay. It's only a few houses away. The lake, I can see the lake from my window, actually. It's only a few houses away. He takes me home. He's like, you still want me to walk you to the door? You want your leftovers? I'm like, no, eat the fucking leftovers. Stick it up your ass. I don't care. And I just basically like got out the car, got my stuff, and slammed the fucking door in his face. And he just sped off like a bitch. I'm done with Eastern European men. I only want Northwestern European men. I only want the English men, the Irish men, the Swedish men, the Norwegian men. I want those, okay? I'm done with Eastern European men. There's something wrong with y'all, okay? If you're watching the Eastern European, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with y'all's men, okay? They act like dusties. They act like snow roaches, snow dusties. I can't. That's all I had to say. Ugh.